There are people who wear masks so well, you'd think they were born with them. They smile with warmth, speak with charm, and seem to offer you the world until you begin to feel the cold underneath. This is not paranoia, this is reality. The Stoics knew, centuries ago, that evil does not always march with swords and shouts. Sometimes it walks quietly beside you, dressed as a friend, a partner, even a mentor. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." But what happens when the thoughts of those around you are poisoned, and they slowly start to dye your soul in the process? Evil often cloaks itself in silence. It manipulates not through loud threats, but through quiet control. If someone makes you feel like you're always at fault, but never tells you directly, beware. This is passive manipulation. They twist the truth just slightly, make subtle suggestions that breed guilt or doubt, all while keeping their hands clean. Epictetus taught that we must be the master of our perceptions. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. The Stoic sees manipulation not with rage, but with calm observation. Do not defend yourself in their twisted game. Step back, detach, observe the pattern. The one who silently controls you is not your ally. Then there is the smile that never reaches the eyes, the act of fake kindness. Some people do good not out of virtue, but for control. They offer help with strings attached. They serve you not to uplift you, but to bind you in debt. Seneca warned us, "He who receives a benefit with gratitude repays the first installment on his debt." But when the benefit is a tool to own your loyalty, the intention is no longer noble. True kindness frees, it does not bind. If someone's generosity feels like a leash, that is not goodness. It's domination in disguise. The Stoic heart remains unmoved by flattery and gifts. It values intent over appearance. If their aid demands your silence, your obedience, or your gratitude on command, walk away. Watch carefully for those who find joy in your misfortune. They do not laugh when you rise. They celebrate only when you fall. You'll see it in their eyes. The slight smirk when you speak of failure, the way they brush past your achievements, or the subtle satisfaction in your pain. Marcus Aurelius reminded us that the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. Evil often hides behind a mask of neutrality, but the Stoic learns to read the emotion behind silence. If someone's energy brightens when yours dims, it is not accidental. Do not try to change them. Do not seek their approval. Your peace must not depend on their applause. Remember, joy at another's suffering is not just a red flag. It is a broken soul projecting its sickness onto yours. There are those who cannot stand your calm. They thrive in chaos and confusion. They initiate emotional games, not because they love drama, but because it gives them control. They keep you guessing, never knowing where you stand. Today you are praised, tomorrow punished, with no clear reason. This is not emotional instability. This is calculated confusion. Epictetus advised, "Any person capable of angering you becomes your master." The Stoic refuses to be mastered. Emotional control is the ultimate rebellion against manipulators. When you stop dancing to their rhythm, they lose power. Remain silent. Remain grounded. Do not match their chaos with your reaction. Your clarity is your shield. Envy is perhaps the most dangerous of all the hidden poisons. Unlike anger or hatred, envy often smiles at you while sharpening the knife behind your back. You'll recognize it in the backhanded compliments, the subtle competition where none exists, or the quiet attempts to dim your light. Seneca called envy the vice of those who measure themselves by another's success. An envious person does not want what you have. They want you to feel guilty for having it. Their friendship feels like a quiet tug downward. You start questioning whether you should celebrate, whether you should shrink so they don't feel small. The Stoic does not apologize for shining. Your success is not a sin. Stay humble, but do not shrink. Do not dull your light for someone who refuses to light their own. And finally, there is the person who constantly shifts blame, but never takes responsibility. Every problem is someone else's fault. Every failure is due to circumstances. And when things go wrong between you and them, you become the villain in their story. This is not immaturity. This is evasion rooted in manipulation. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If someone is able to show me that what I think or do is not right, I will happily change, for I seek the truth." The Stoic embraces responsibility, for it is the path to self-mastery. But those who fear the truth weaponize denial. If someone never owns their actions, never admits fault, never reflects, then they will never grow. And if you stay too close, they will ensure that you don't either. In a world of masks and manipulation, the Stoic must walk with clarity, not with hatred, not with paranoia, but with calm discernment. You are not called to judge, only to observe. And when you observe evil disguised as friendship, the solution is not confrontation, but distance. The solution is not fury, but freedom. Trust your inner compass, that quiet voice inside you, the one that senses discomfort even when words seem kind. It is your ally. Your peace is not negotiable. Your soul is not a playground for someone else's demons. Recognizing darkness in another is not an act of hate. It is an act of love for yourself. The Stoics knew that our greatest responsibility is not to change others, but to protect our own virtue. So walk on with wisdom, hold your silence like a sword, and let your dignity be the boundary no one crosses. Evil is loud, evil is charming, but it cannot outlast the man who sees clearly and stands calmly. Be that man.